This
Shub,
conference will now be
Karthik.
recorded.
Yeah. What was it,
Anyways,
Chinmay?
no. Anyways, after the class, I'll ask.
Okay, no problem. If you want, I can pass the recording.
Okay.
This conference will now be recorded.
So, I think we have done the invoicing, right? We are going into CC, right? That's where we left last time. Let's see what we can do this week. You see my screen, right, everyone?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Uh, okay. So for usages, we have a different path, right? So when CC is involved, we are going all together in a different route, right? Let's take that path. Okay. So basically, we go to CC when there is a requirement that otherwise one time and triggering, we can directly go through the regular path, having a billing plan in the system, and we can do that path. But when it comes to usage, and that is one restriction on the billing plan side. CC is a good way to go if usages are involved in the subscription business and in the where you are working or the projects where you are implementing. Okay, how do we manage this usage and what is the usage and what are the different things that we are going to do? We'll see. Okay. Now, when it comes to usage, CC is there in the middle, right? So we create the ordering part and the creation of a contract part, they remain same, but on the master data, a few things we need. Okay, so we have to go back to master data and we do few of the settings, and then we create an order and contract. Okay, on the order and also on the contract, there are different objects that we are going to see as part of CC, and then the contract gets replicated to CC. In CC, we do a rating and charging. Okay, and again, the outcome of this CC is always a billable item. So from billable item, again, billing and invoicing, and this path remains same. There is no deviation to this path. But most of the things we will be looking at the CC and SOM. In CI, we have to do certain configurations specific to rating as well as consumption items that we'll do. And then we'll cover the remaining topics. Okay. So as we discussed, right, CC has a capability of doing one-time and recurring. It also supports. Okay, if there is no SOM and if you want to do all three, you can do it from CC also. Okay, now with that context, let's go and see what we have to do in CC and what are the different things. Okay, now let me go to the system. So to log into CC, okay, we use a component called core tool. Okay, core tool is like SAP GUI. How you're logging into SAP using your username and password, you should log into CC using a core tool. It's an independent server. It's not part of our S4, and there's a separate launchpad for it. Okay, let me quickly close this. Let me go to
This is something we'll have to request from the basis team or in my
yes,
current. Okay.
access and all installation. If you look at right, so core tool is something SAP GUI, right? SAP GUI, the login pad you can install on your root, or your admin team, IT team will install this and give it to you. The configurations, how you log in, all those things, your basis team will do. Okay, they'll give you your security team will give you a username and password, like
Correct.
like the way you're doing it to SAP. So they'll give you the details to log into CC. Okay, Core Tool is a application. Just click on this one, and if you see the path of it. Okay, I created a shortcut, but if you can always go to open location. The location you can see there is admin plus tool. This is where CC is installed and a dump is given. Okay, so in that code tool is the one we use that I created as a shortcut here. Okay, this is our GUI kind of a thing. But when you click on this, it will give you a pop-up, ask you for login, username and password, and the server is a place where this actual CC is installed. Okay, the server is always required. We are logging into that server where this CC is installed, and you can use the same password, username, password. Okay, it will launch a core tool. So this is your core tool. If you see at the top, this is your core tool, and you have different options at the top: file, edit, action, tools, windows. Okay, file, you can create different objects, and open, you can different objects. Delete, you can do different objects. Okay, and if you want to see the list, entire list at a time, you can just go to the window and view the catalogs. It will give you the list of objects that are created within CC. So this here at the top you see, right, A tags. These are all kind of what we do in SAP. We have packages, right? In the package, we create different objects. Okay, so it's like a package only. The catalog is like a package under which you create all the different objects that we have seen, right? See here, these are the different objects in CC. We create under this catalog always. Okay, and if you see a lot of different things are created in this. Okay, see all objects. I will go to all objects here. You expand this. You see chargeable items and charged item class. These are different objects. Pricing macros, translation tables, pair tables, mapping tables, range tables, charges, charge plans. Different things are there. Okay. Rest are all not required, but few of the things which are required, we'll go through them, and and also we have to see how CC is connected to CI and how CC is connected to SOM, and what are the different objects that gets replicated from SOM to CC, and CI to CC, and CC to SOM, and CC to CI. Okay, all that flow we'll see. Okay, always remember, if you are working on CC, the first and foremost thing is the first and foremost thing is the object that we look at in CC is charge plan. Okay, this charge plan is the first object that you are going to see. Under this charge plan, we have different charges. Okay, under this charge plan, we have charges, and I'll say charges 1 and charges 2. I'll say charge 1. Under the charge plan, we have charges. So charge 1, charge 2. Let's say this one as I'll note it differently. CCA, and this is B, and let's say charge 3. Okay, so your charge plan remains same, but your charges. So under a single charge plan, we can have multiple charges. Okay, these are the different objects. What is this charge plan? We'll see what are they, but this is the hierarchy. Okay, so each charge, again, it has this is our charge plan is an object, charge is an object. Each charge contains set of sections, different sections. Okay, so one is charging plan, and the other one is a price plan. Okay, it repeats same for each charge. You have the same things. Okay, this is how it looks like in CC. Okay, so rest of everything. Okay, so whatever the objects that we have, we will make use of them inside this one. Okay, inside charge plan and charges, we'll make use of them. Okay, and this charge plan that you see at the top, this is exposed to SOM. Okay, charge plan is exposed to SOM. In the SOM, we assign this charge plan to product. Okay, so when we use the product, so the charge plan is assigned to a product. So we made a link, right, between SOM and CC using charge plan. And this product, what are we doing with the product in SOM? We are creating an order, right? We are creating order, and from there we are creating a contract, right, in SOM. And the data that we create a contract using the product. So product has a charge plan. Whatever information that is there on the charge plan will flow to product, and from there to order, and from there to contract. Okay, now so but how we link this charge plan and how, between SOM, how this charge plan is linked to the product. Okay, so that is linked as charge plan in CC. So we use a concept called cross catalog map, which we call it as CCM. CCM. Okay, so this CCM, using this CCM, we assign the CCM to product. Okay, this is inside SOM, cross catalog mapping. This CCM, using CCM, we assign this charge plan to product. Clear so far? No, but how we enable this product to have this charge plan, this cross catalog mapping and all. When we created a product, we used MM0123 to create, change, and display, right? We never seen this object. Okay, how we where is it, and how do we enable that to our product? That we'll see. Before that, what we need a charge plan. Okay, so let's go and see in CC what is a charge plan, how do we create a charge, how do we create a charge plan, and what are the different things that we do as part of this charge plan and charge. Okay, so the basic purpose of a charge, the basic what CC will do, CC will do rating and charging, right? Rating and charging is a functionality of CC. What does it mean? So what happens when let's assume that your mobile plan, right? So mobile plan you purchased. Okay, so you purchased mobile plan $19. So as part of this plan, they gave you 1,000 minutes free and some 20 GB data free. Let's assume that. Okay, so every month, this when you are purchasing it, there is an activation charge, one-time charge, right, and recurring charge. So both are, we have seen both of them using a one-time and recurring billing plan. We have used, we have seen that in the SOM CI path, right? But let's say this is your limits. The limits are set on your the plan or the contract. When you deviate, when you how do they track? Okay, how they allow you to use more than 1,000 minutes? They allow you to use more than the data they as part of your contractual agreement. Okay, but how do they track? They track that consumption using a usage record. Okay, all your consumptions are tracked using usage record. So every usage record contains the information of how much you're using. Every usage record contains the information of how much you're using. Okay, this record is sent to CC. Okay, in CC, we'll check, okay, what is your consumption, and we'll calculate, whether to charge the customer or whether to, not to charge the customer. If the limits are within if your usage does not result in any charge, you don't charge the customer. If it results in any of the amounts to be charged, then it will create a it will charge the customer. Okay, so usage record, when it is sent to CC, it will first rate. Okay, rating is what? It's a price calculation. Okay, rating is a price calculation certain based on certain conditions, price calculations. And then it will charging is what? Identify the customer, right? Whom to charge? We arrived, so based on the usage we know how much to charge, but we need to identify the customer also, right? Whom to charge. Charging is whom to charge. Okay,
Usage record doesn't have that information, like whom to charge.
we'll see.
Okay, okay.
Okay, we'll see what information usage has, but sorry. So usage record, we'll see what the information usage contains, and how CC is deriving these things. Okay,
Hmm.
so usage record is always submitted to CC using a consumption item. Okay, usage record is always submitted to CC as a consumption item. Okay, and when CC completes its process, it generates a billable item. Billable item in CI. It generates a billable item in CI. Okay, so now what is the input to CC now? Consumption item is the input, right? Consumption item is the input to CC, and what is its output? Billable item. Okay, so consumption item and billable item, these are the terms that we use in CI. Okay, these are the terms we use in CI. Okay, but what do we call them in CC? So this is called as chargeable item, chargeable item class, which is your CIC. This we call it in CI as chargeable item class. And I'll mark single row. So CC generates an output which we call it as charged item class. So which is in turn called as billable item in CI. Okay. So okay, now let's go. Okay, let's go into CC and see what is the charge plan, and what are the different charges and different objects, how they look like. Okay, let's go into CC. Go to core tool, click on file, new, and here you see a charge plan, right? We need to create a charge plan. So select a package and click on OK. So it opens up a screen like this. Okay, this is how a charge plan looks like. At the top, maintain the name. I'll say this is charge plan 1, charge plan 14. I'll keep 14 underscore 1. This is our charge plan name. It's a free text. You can type anything. There is no restriction on what you type. Okay, this is how a charge plan looks like. And you see it has different tabs: definition, counters, parameters, technical data, account assignment, additional information, all those things. Okay, so if you go to definition, it shows the status of the charge plan. Okay, right now the status is what? Open, right? There are different statuses. We'll see how do we set these statuses. Now what apart from these parameters, counters, technical data, all you maintain here. Okay, but what a charge plan contains? Charge plan contains a charge, right? How do we add a charge? We add a charge to the charge. We always add charges to the charge plan, right? As per the design, you see a charge contains a charge. We add charges to the charge plan. Okay, now here if you see, click on add item. It will take it will show the list of charges which are available already. Okay, just click on it. See, it says select a charge, right? Now you see in the system there are different charges, okay, but we haven't created any charge so far. Okay, so the first thing now, what is the first thing we need to create? We should have a charge, right? Before we do anything on the charge plan, we need to prepare a charge first, right? Let's close this one. Let's create a charge first. Okay, click on create new and go to charge. Select a package of the catalog, and this is how a charge looks like. Charge screen looks like. Okay, I'll say this one charge 14_1. I have given the name. It's up to us. You have free text. You can type anything, anywhere. It's always a free text. Okay, you can type anything. There is no restriction on how you name these things. Okay, now as we discussed, right? So charge contains, this is a default. Okay, by default it comes up like this, and I've given the name and description. So charge contains two objects. So this is your charging. See, it contains only two objects. By standard it says two things. Okay, one is the charging plan and one is a price plan. Okay, charge contains two objects. One is a charging plan and one is a price plan. Okay, what is the charge plan? Charge plan gives us a mechanism to identify the customer. Okay, this we use this charge plan to identify, or to define the customer. Okay, to we link it. Okay, we have a way to link the customer. Okay, it's a design. We are at the design phase now, right? We don't know what contract we are going to create, and what customer information comes into this. Right now we don't know. We are still at design. Okay, now the second one is what? Second one is a price plan, right? So this is your price plan. I'll say price plan 14_1. Copy this one. Okay. Now this price plan. What is the use of this first price plan? We need to calculate the amounts, right? For a certain usage, a usage record is coming to us, and we use this price plan to calculate the amounts. Always remember, charge, the logic that we define inside this is called as a decision tree. Okay, it's a tree kind of a logic. Okay, so always remember your price plan. Always, if you look at the left side of it, this is called rates, and these functions, comparators, splitters, operators, charging, and everything, right? So these are all grayed out. You cannot select a function. Okay, so your price plan should always starts with the rates. Okay, it always starts with rates. Okay, in the rates we have, as we saw, right? So we know what is a one-shot rate and what is a recurring rate, right? These two. CC supports all three, but we don't want to use one-time and recurring. We are already taken care of them inside CC, CI, right? If you want to start your price plan, you should start with either of these three. Nothing else is allowed. Okay, let's say let's create a simple example. I want to create one shot. Okay, let's see how it looks like. See, as soon as I selected this one shot, right, under the price plan I selected one shot rate, right? This is my one shot rate. So as you type there, it comes, the text will come here. So you selected your price plan, right? The rates already selected. Now rates disabled. The rest opened up. See, so always starts with a rate, and there is one more condition. It should always end with function. Okay, so it should always end with function. Starts with a rate, end with functions. Okay, now this is a one shot rate. We trigger only one time. This gets triggered only one time when the contract is created, right? So there is what is the input required for this is for the one shot, there is an event always associated an event. If you see activation, suspension, resumption, okay, only these three times it gets executed. Okay, I'll say activation. As soon as my contract is activated, this gets triggered, then done. Then it won't get triggered after that. Okay, only one time at the time of activation. Okay, that's an event. We are not passing any input. Okay, so this is an event, activation event. Whenever a contract is created in CC, this gets triggered, and corresponding output, or whatever logic gets executed under this rate, right? So in the one shot rate, I want to, let's say I want to function. See, rates I cannot use. I want to add a flat fee. Okay, so this is my function. I'll say flat fee. Flat fee, I'm going to charge. Okay, what is our, let's say we need to define, let me, what is this? Okay, let's ignore that. Let's go to our theory screen. Let's go to our contract and see what is there in it. Okay, let's create new. This is contract screen. Okay, let me go to order screen. Go to subscription order management. Manage subscription orders. Click on create new. So ours is GS14. Soon to select the soon to. Sales are, select the sales are. So our currency is USD, right? So let's go to the charge. Select the currency USD. Select USD. Now let's go to our flat fee. It's USD. So as soon as a contract is created, I'm going to charge $10. That's what I'm defining here, right? So we know what is the amount that we are going to charge. Now let's go and see. Let's go and link the customer. Okay, so default charging. Okay, price plan we are done. Okay, we just took a one simple example, and let's go and create a customer. Okay, so I'll say that this is my customer at charge. Okay, charge level. Okay, this is at the charge level, right? And go to default charging. Here I click add component, click on reference, and click on internal reference. Okay, so this is my customer. This is my customer, and if you see customer underscore charge, right? So we linked. Okay, so we said that we just used one object internal reference so that this gets populated automatically when a contract is created. Let's see how it gets populated. Okay, let's save this one. So on the charging plan, we don't do much. We only create an internal reference and assign the charge. We create an internal reference and we'll keep it like this. Okay. Now once the charge is created, okay, you need to save. How do we save? At the top you see new, open, save to database, right? Different options are. Let's click on save to database. So as soon as you save, it says save in catalog, brim I selected. Let's save this one. Okay. So charge 14 underscore 1 is saved. Now this charge is ready. Now we need to use this charge inside a charge plan, right? Let's go and create a charge plan. Click on create new, go to charge plan, select the package. This is our charge plan 14 underscore 1. So you guys are able to follow, right? And now I'll add my charge. Hey Sub, Chinmay, Shane, you guys are able to follow, right? So far.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm assigning my charge to the charge plan now. See, charge 14 underscore 1 is already there. Let's assign this charge to the charge plan. Okay. So this is my charge plan tabs. Okay. These are my tabs at the charge plan. These are the tabs at the charge. Okay. Now let's quickly, we need to link, I mean, we added a charge to the charge plan. Okay. We need to do the linking also. Okay. From charge to charge plan to charge. Okay, I'll say the charge plan. If you look at the account assignments, we have the charging reference, right? Customer underscore charge. We created this one, right? We need to link it to the charge plan because, as we discussed, right, charge plan is the only objects that gets exposed to SOM, right? So far, what we learned, charge plan is the one which we assign it to a charge. Okay, this reference is at the charge. We need to link it to the charge plan. How do we do that? Go to account assignments tab at the charge plan and click on create here. I'll say this is it. This is a customer at CP. Okay, charge plan and description. Just give it as customer CP. I created a account at the account assignment. In the account assignment, I created a reference at customer underscore CP. This we can see in SOM. But how do we link this to charge? Go to charge again now. Go to account assignments, see linked value. Here you see, right? This is our charge and I'm linking it to charge plan. Okay, so charge and charge plan are linked now. Now next is what charge plan is linked. So we can similarly, we can link the counters, the parameters, whatever the counters parameters that we have at the top, we can link that also. We can link the technical data, we can link account assignments. These are the four things that we can link. Now let's quickly do a few things. Okay, there are some other tabs. Tax, let's disable this tax, don't want to use. Account assignment linking is done. And what is this, the one more thing that we have to do is output item. Okay, so after charging, after rating and charging is done, this generates an output, right? This generates an output. So what should be my output? My output is a billable item. All right, so we need to link this to our, so we need to instruct system that, hey, I mean, once your rating and charging is done, this is my billable item. Okay, so how do we create a billable item? What are the different objects, mandatory necessary things that we need to create a billable item? One is a bit class, subprocess, and bit type, right? These three things are mandatory. The same things we have done at CA billing plan also. CA billing plan also we have done the same, right? So now let's, but we don't know. I mean, the billable item class, the billable item, everything is in CI. How do we, how CC knows that, what is my billable item class to use? So for that purpose, what this will do is CC, there is a concept of billable item mapping. Okay, so this billable item mapping when we do this billable item mapping, it creates a reference of the billable item class that we created in CI. Okay, so we are it creates a reference of it. Click on OK and go to this opens up a screen. Now if you see, this is a billable item class. What is our billable item class? Anyone remember? G14B, right? Our billable item class. So G14B is my billable item class, and I'm mapping this to CC as what? Charged item class, right? This
Mhm.
billable item class in CI is mapped as charged item class in CC. So I'll
So
say I'll
those
create that. Yes,
so those billable item class all when we create in CI, it will show up in CC or
because these
there's
are
another
connected.
setting. Okay,
CI and CC, SOM and CC are connected, right? So this is something you cannot see a billable item class in CC. Okay, this is available in CI, right?
correct.
But what we are doing as part of this mapping, we are creating a reference of it. So in CC, I'm going to use this thing. Okay, whatever the G14BC is what I'm creating here, right? This will be created in CC that will reference to G14B, which is available in CI. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
creating a
yeah.
new class.
Okay.
I will call that as charged item class in CC. Okay, that
Mhm.
is my charged item class. Okay, now let's click on OK. CC is generally slow. Okay, so it takes it won't open immediately. This takes a second or two. Okay, so this is my mapping. G14B to G14BC is a mapping. So I'm trying to bring everything that is there in G14B in CI to CC, and we call it as charged item class in CC. Okay, let's save this one. So I'm saving this now. Select a package and save. Okay, I saved successfully. So let's see, it is asking whether I can open. So G14BC is my charged item class. Okay, let's close this one. So mapping I have done. Now I want to use, okay, so whenever a charging is done, I want to generate a billable item class, right? So what is my reference? It's charged item class in CC, right? So that's the reason you see the output of this charge is always a charged item. Okay, we need to give the charged item class here. Let's see, I need to close it and open it again. Okay, let me, because this was created before that, let me close it and redo the things again. Okay, I don't want to save any of it. Charge is there already. Let's create a charge plan again. Okay, go to charge plan, select the package. So this is charge plan 14_1. Okay, and add charge, add it. Let's add the charge that we created. So charge 14_1 is my charge. I added. So quickly do the things. Tax disable it and account assignment. We need to link it. So go to charge plan again. Go to account assignments. Create a reference. Customer CP. Okay, and description customer CP. And let's go to charge again and go to account assignments. link that customers will be here. Okay, and go to output item. My output item is my charged item class, which is G14BC. Let's go to, yeah, see, G14BC is now available. Okay, so this is going to be my output, right? This is going to be my output. So for G14BC, if you want to create a billable item, a few things are mandatory, right? I mean, what are the things that are mandatory? 14B is a class name, bit class, which we already know, but we need to have the subprocess, right? Subprocess and billable item type. Okay, so let's go to this bit type. If you click on this one, see BO14, BR14, BU14. Where did we define this? In CI. They
Yeah.
automatically, they are coming up automatically now. So okay, let's say this is one time BO14 I'll create. Okay, and what is, let's say you can define bit quantity. I'll just hard code it for now. For our example, I'll just hard code the bit quantity as for 6 quantity 6 unit, right? This is unit. I'll say this is EA, and let's say the quantity is you can hard code, you can map variables to this, you can do all those things. Okay, I'll say this quantity 6, and sub process, right? Go to sub process. Where is the sub? Here it is. Okay, select the sub process. See, SP14 is the only sub process that we created, and it is available. Okay, so these three things are mandatory. We need to do that. The rest of the other fields, you can always use a variable. You can populate that variable inside charge, and you can assign it here, or you can hard code also. Everything is allowed. So the
This
output
is
is
like
configured.
a field catalog, right? The way in SAP we have a field catalog. This is more
Yeah,
like that only.
yeah, field catalog only, but this is specific to your class. How we created our billable item class, right? In CC, in
Hmm.
CI. So all the data, all the columns that are available under G14B, your billable item class,
Hmm.
will appear here.
Will appear
Okay,
here.
so,
Okay.
yeah, application key. So how you want to see? This is your output, right? How you want to see your output, right? Your output, you have to do calculations and you have to populate the output, right? And then you have to populate your output. The price is something calculated by charge, and the output of a price is always the price that you see as a that you see at the below. We are not adding any price here, right? Are we adding any price here? No, right?
No.
We are not hard coding the price. So what is our logic? As soon as a contract is active, I want to charge how much? $10 or $5? How much we are charging? $10, I guess, right?
$10.
Yeah, $10 we are charging. The quantity, the rest of the fields we are hard coding, but amounts always comes from charge. We are not hard coding that here. Okay. Now let's save this one. Save to database again. Okay, let's save this one. Okay, so our charge plan is ready, and the status of the charge plan is open. Now we want to use this charge plan inside SOM. Then only our contract and order can make use of it, right? But how we make use of this in SOM? Okay, so to use that in SOM, we have to enhance our product. Okay, so this is where we go to another section called subscription product. Okay, so far we are dealing with subscription order management. Now I am going to subscription product. So where is subscription product?
So that is not MM03, or is it?
That is not MM03.
Did okay.
It's separate. Okay, see here at the bottom we see subscription product. Click on it. So a screen appears like this. Okay, and let's see, click on this manage subscription product specific data. Okay,
So this is only through Fiori, or there will be a T code as well.
Fiori, only through Fiori. Fiori only you have to do. Okay, now what is our product? Anyone remember our product? Let's go to bill of ladle, big sweep mall, and go to, we already done invoicing. Let's go to invoiced items. Contract account is 118 or 116. I don't know. I think it is 116. CFO. Yeah, this is our contract. Execute. And let's look at our contract. Take any of the contract. Go to item general data. Okay, go to convergent. Let me go to revenue accounting. Yeah, so this is our product, right? 800057. Okay, go to the tab again and enter. See, just click on enter. So it says invalid entry. I mean, so far the scenarios that we have seen, one time and recurring, there is no usage, and we don't need a subscription for it, right? So unless there is a usage concept of it, you don't need a subscription for it, right? So that's the reason it's not showing here. So for that, what you have to do, you have to enable this as a subscription product. Okay, if you want to deal with CC for usages and all, you should create the product as a subscription product. Okay, so I'll create. Let's click on create. Here I'll give my product name. Okay, so this is my product created in MM03. I'm enabling this as a subscription product so that we can use it in CC, and the objects can be linked to CC. Okay, click on this one, select this one, and two things here you have to do. Okay, one is the assignment schema. There's a schema that is associated, and the other thing is the cross catalog mapping. Okay, these are the two things that we have to do. So schema, let's select. We'll see what is the schema, but let's select the one which is already there. Okay, I'll say ZY, GI, or any other thing, or I can use a different one.
What
This,
is this assignment schema?
yeah, we'll come to that. We'll come to that. Okay, so
So
the schema will
basically, we are extending the views, right? Like something like MM03. Sometimes we
extension.
do not
Yes,
create. Yeah. So it's more like
extension.
extending the subscription view. Okay.
That's right. That's right. Extension. It is a kind of extension. You can treat it as extension. Okay, schema will come to this. I selected one. Okay, you can select any of it. Everything is same. There are even though you see a number of entries, but everything is almost same. Okay, there is no difference to it. Okay. So we'll see that. But our purpose is what we need to assign that charge plan created, right? So that for that purpose, we are creating this product we are extending this product as a subscription product. And as I mentioned, there is a cross catalog mapping, okay, using which we link the CC charge plan to product. Okay. Now there is no cross catalog mapping, nothing is there. Let's go and create. As soon as you click on create, it gets updated like this. Status is open and version is nothing now. Let's select this one, enter the valid from, let's say it is valid from some date, okay, and just click on this, okay. It will take you to your screen. So this is my cross catalog mapping screen. Here I'll say this is my CCM, okay, CCM1 14_1, okay. Just give a description, okay. Now here in this screen you see charge plans, right? Let's click on create. So it gives a window to select the charge plans. So in the charge plan ID, click on this one. And what is our charge? See, these are the charge plans that are available in CC, and a pop-up comes up to select it. Okay, the one we created is what? Charge plan 14_1, right? Let's see whether that is available. Okay, charge plan 14_1. Okay, it says no items found. Why? Because if you look at your charge plan, the status of the charge plan is what? Open. Okay, if you want to make this charge plan exposed to outside system exam, it should be in release status. Okay, so what I have to do, I have to click on edit, click on release status, set it to release status and save this one. Charge plan saved successfully. Now the status of the charge plan is released. Go to the screen again, and now let's try that. Okay, now let's search with charge plan 14_1. Let me cancel this one and come back again. Okay, I don't want to, I'll just save it and come back. Okay, now this is my subscription product. Go to cross catalog mapping again, create, open. This is valid from, let's say, first description CCM_1 14_1. Click on create charge plan. Now let's see whether charge plan 14 is available. Okay, see, at the end, charge plan 14_1 is available now. So the condition is what? It should be in a release status. Okay, and if you just click on this charge plan, it will take you to the charge plan screen. So this is my charge plan screen. See, technical resources, parameters, counters, tables, everything is available here. Okay, so the same thing, the same object replicated to SOM. All right, let's apply and go back, apply again. It will take you to the product, subscription product. Now go to CCM, come down. See, I added cross catalog mapping. Version is blank now. Okay, now let's create. Okay, I'm creating a subscription product. Now let's edit this one. The cross catalog map status is open. All right, it is open. So to use that cross catalog mapping, the whatever mapping we have done, it should be, the status should be released. Okay, select the charge plan. The version is blank now. Set status to released. Okay. Now status is released and a version 1 is created. Right. In the version 1, we assigned our charge plan created. Okay, let's save this one. So I've done two things. Excuse me. Sorry. So my charge plan I assigned. This we know where we have created and how we linked. But this technical resource ID, we are not there yet. We'll see. I assigned some random which is already existing. That's okay. With this, the product is configured as a subscription product and CCM is assigned. Okay, now let's go and see the order. Okay, let's go and create an order and see how it is behaving. Okay, I want to go to subscription order management.
We also give that valid from date. How does does that
Valid
mean
from,
that
no, from when onwards that version can be
orders? Okay.
applicable. It's like,
Yeah,
from when onwards you want.
okay. It's not that like we gave it from 31st May, I guess. So that doesn't mean the orders created of 31st May onwards will get applicable, or
Yes,
the
yes,
orders.
yes. So earlier to that, we cannot use that version. Only we are just giving a validity period of it.
Correct. Like,
But
let's say if the order is already created
ideally
yesterday.
it should be
Hmm.
the current date. So I gave it because of the time differences and the system and SAP, right? So that's the reason I gave. I just
Okay.
as a cautionary, but
Okay.
it should be your current date only.
Okay.
Now let's go and create a subscription order. Click on create new, select our order type. Okay, this is my customer. Okay, go to items and select the product. Assign the contract account.
I
And now
think when I
let's go
try to
into
create the order, the duration is grayed out, and I'm not able to change it.
which duration.
Uh, in the item, at the item level, when I enter the product and quantity, I get the start date and end date as like the end date as the start date, and the duration is grayed out. Like, where do I?
Which duration you're talking about here?
At,
Okay, let me go back.
yeah, this screen. If you go to the item when we add the product, there you see the duration.
It's not grayed out.
The, no, for me when I try to create, it's grayed out. Not in this system, but like in my system.
Oh, it won't actually. How many did you maintain these extension periods?
No, I haven't. I mean, I'm
You
trying
have,
it in the development environment of my at my current place.
okay, you have to maintain this on the product master. You have to maintain these extension periods. They come up here. You can select the durations. Okay.
In
Now
MM03,
in MM03, 02, maintain it in 02.
02. Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Now, if you see, there are few things you can notice here. Okay. Uh, okay. One is your technical resource ID. Let's keep it as some dummy. Okay. Right now, we're not dealing with tech resource ID anyway. And let's go back. And the price is what? What is the price of it?
It was $10
No,
flat
no, no.
fee.
That is your activation fee. I'm looking at the product price. So product price is 500. Okay. Let's save this one. Submit. Okay. And let's see whether the contract is active or not. Okay. 20922. Go to CC. Open contract. Provider contract. Contains 20922 is the one which we created. It's replicated successfully. And you see charge plan 14 underscore 1, an instance of charge plan 14.1 is associated to our contract, right? A charge plan 14 underscore 1 is tagged now. Earlier when we have seen this was blank, right? Now as we associated our charge plan 14 to the product, and on the contract it used that charge plan associated. Okay, for this 20922 charge plan 14 underscore 1 instance is associated. Okay, this is an instance of charge plan. Okay, now if you go to account assignments, the customer CP is your contract account. See, it automatically assigned that customer CP. And if you go to charge, the same uh, account assignment, whatever we have done, this CP is again assigned to our charge, right? That comes up there. Now let's go and let's go to, so as soon as an act, as how do we know that the contract is active or not? If you go to your charge, there is a last activation date. Okay, right now it is blank. We opened immediately. Let's go and open it again. It might have activated already. Okay, let's go and open 20922 again. Open provider contract, contains 20922. Okay, open it again. Go to charge. See, it's activated. So as soon as an activation happens, we are our charge is what, when there is an activation, it should create a bid of $10, right? Now we cannot see the bid inside the billable item inside CC. You have to go to CI only. Okay, go to CI, go to billable item monitor and see all items for contract account 71116. And what is our contract? 20922. Right, execute. See, there is a billable item created, right? A billable item is created, and what is the charge? Quantity, billing quantity is 6. For the quantity 6 we bill, and amount is $10. Clear? And what is this? This is a one time, right? BO 14 is what we have given, right? So billable item type SP14 is something we have given there in CC. And if you look at the main transaction, sub transaction, I think for BO 14 we did not configure. That's the reason the status of this billable item is in raw. If it is BR14, it will be in billable item status, because for that only we have done all our configurations, right? Now, so is it clear now? This is generated from where? If you look at source transaction type, CCCIT. Okay, what is the CCCIT? CC rated item. That means this was generated from CC. Clear? Earlier it was BIP from billable item billing plan. Now it is CCCIT. Okay. So similarly, you can create a number of excuse me.
But we did not define that center component anywhere, right? The CCCIT.
No, that's a standard. It's standard. As soon as any item that you generate, right? This is the one that system populates automatically. Even for BIP, the billing plan generated item, we did not
Hmm.
populate. That's a
Okay.
standard configuration. System knows okay from where the billable item is getting generated.
In our 500,
500 is
in,
what? Why are we not seeing 500? Can anyone tell me?
because it's spread out, because there will be a billing plan
500,
associated with it,
500
right?
is 500 is your recurring, right? If you go to
Recurring.
FTK, BIX bill plan, right? So that is the route we should follow, right? For
Correct.
the
We will
recurring
have to create the bill plan for that. Yeah.
right? So a bill plan is created for that. Okay, let's go and see the 20922. Okay, see there is a bill plan created.
Mm-hmm. Two.
So this is your 500 amount. Okay, so there is some price issue. One second, huh? Let's create one more. Seems like there is a price issue. Uh, Let me create one more. Let's create one more contract. So this is my 500 and let's go back. And what is my 500 here? Amount is 500. Value recurring. Okay, go to the bottom. Go to the right side of it. Where is that value recurring? Yeah, here at the value recurring is 500. Submit. Okay. One second. Contract account. Let me assign. Assign contract account. Edit the item. Go back. Submit this one. One second, guys. GS14. Select our sold to. Somebody edited our objects. Okay, go to product and select our product 80057. Assign a contract account. Okay, go inside the item. Enter some number to this. Okay, I don't want Anything there? Now let's submit this one. So what is the contract that got generated? 20923. Go to our billing plan. So contract number is 20923, right? 20923. Amount is 500 USD. And go and see the billable item for 20923. Click a big split one for contract 20923. Okay, not generated yet. Okay, now let's go to CC and see whether it is active or not. Okay, open 20923, open file, open provider contract 20923. It takes a minute sometimes to generate the billable item. See, it is still not active yet. Okay, let's see. Let's give it a minute. Let me go to billable item again. All items. Okay, so it is active now. Let's go to CC. Provider contract 20923. Right. Open this one. See, it is active. Right. So that's the reason it generated a billable item. Okay. So, but where is our 500? It is at the billing plan. Right. Let's go to billing plan and request for a billable item. Right. Execute. So it generated a billable item. Now I should see two items. One is our billable item and one is our one time the CC item. See, look, if you look at this one, it is BIP, which is your billing plan, right? Billing plan item. This is your CCCIT, which is your CC generated item. Okay. So the next process is to bill and invoice. It remains same, but few things we need to see in CC. So what we have done so far in CC, what is your so far? Can anyone tell me? Okay, just your understanding. Correct or right? Right, that's right or wrong. That's fine. Just tell me your understanding. What we have done,
We created a charging plan and
right?
then a charge plan as well under that, uh, and then a price associated with the charge plan.
So first is
Uh,
what we created a charge. Under that we have charge. Under the charge we have charging plan and price plan. Okay, this charge is assigned to our charging plan. The charging plan we assign to our subscription product. We created our product as
mm,
subscription and assigned charge plan in the CCM. And we also did the billable item mapping, right? So that our bit class is tagged to this.
yes.
Right, those are the different steps, and also we have seen the billable item generated. We configured the output, and we also did the sorry account assignment. We have done the output configuration, right? But in the charge, we are not going to use this one time. Okay, so our purpose is to where is the usage? There is no usage so far. We haven't submitted any usage, right? That is our purpose. We wanted to submit a usage, right? So how do
Right.
we how do we do that? So in the charge, if you want to submit a usage, what do we need now? This rate is for one shot. We don't need that rate, right? So I want to use a usage rate, a rate called usage rate. Okay. Now let's click on usage rate. I'm going to usage rate now. This is one shot, and if you look at the top, it is usage rate. Okay, so this is my usage. This is my usage rate. Okay,
So
so
mhm.
yes,
So this has already been pre-configured kind of box or
these are, yes,
um,
it's standard. It's
because okay.
we are building on top of these.
Yeah, because like when we go to rates, we have already one shot, recurring, and usage. Uh,
Yes,
I
yes.
mean, those are the
If
only
you are
three, but those are already been what I mean to say, like
any
every place
chance,
will have this pre-configured. There won't be
everywhere it is like this only. These things you cannot change. Okay, these are all given by CC.
like for
Okay,
example, my company might not call it one shot. It might call something else, activation fee or some
okay, just change it as
stuff.
activation. Even though it is a one shot, you make it as activation, right?
Okay,
I'll named it. I named it as activation fee. So that's the
mhm,
reason you need to identify that. You need to identify, the charges the customer is, the charges the company is charging, right? We should know under what category they fall. They should be either one time, they should be either recurring, or they should be. They call it a different. They can say that this is a subscription fee,
correct.
subscription fee, right? But still, it's a one-time fee, right? So you can rename. SAP, the CC has given us list of things. You'll make use of them and you build your logic. Some
Got it. Got
projects based on the complexity of the logic, it can go to up to 1,000 steps also. Okay, I'll show you one example. Okay, how a charge looks like. Simple. Some of the charges. Sometimes it's not necessary that you have to build, always 10,000 lines of logic. Okay, sometimes it goes based on the complexity of the requirement. It goes up to huge. It becomes a very big tree. Okay, I'll say, see,
Scale pricing, right? Basically usage. Okay.
see,
Oh,
this is a
okay.
charge. Okay, charging plan, it is simple. Okay, so you have to give a reference. But your price plan, if you look at the price plan, so these are all the objects that are there that we made use of it. Okay, so the different objects that we made use of to build a tree like this. See how big is it, right? So it depends on the requirement, and but fundamentals you should know. Always your charge should start with a rate and with a function. Whatever is the branch that you are taking, it should always starts with a rate and end with a price. End with a sorry, not price, function, right? Charge. So always what happens? It starts with a rate, right? Starts with a rate. How many number of, you can have any if else cases, whatever it is. Okay, so branches can be different branches, right? How do I draw this? Uh, let's go to MS Paint. I don't know whether I can do it or not. Let me see. So this is your. Let's assume that this is your rate. Okay, and you can have any number of branches. Okay, from based on your if conditions, or based on the different things. Okay, so at the end, it should always end with a function, right? It should always end with a function. How do I type inside this? Okay, whatever it is. Okay, so it should always rate, and it should always, any branch, okay, how many level of branches you have, it should always starts with a rate and with a function, and in between you can have comparators, the other operators, the other things that you have, right? Every branch can have different things in between, okay, but your starting and ending will be, it can be either function or it can be either, so your starting will be your rate and ending will be your function, right? If you look at this one, you're always, it should start with the rate, end with a function. In between you can use comparators, splitters, operators. So that is how this one is built. Okay, so if you are ending somewhere, let's say this tree, okay, it will go on, it is going until this, okay, here it is ending here, okay, the next one, it is ending here, okay. There can be different branches, if else conditions, case statements, whatever it is, whatever you call it, but it should always end with a function, okay. So this tree, it's like a tree, okay, and if you see, right, what was I said, if we call it as a decision tree, and a tree can be any length, there is no restriction, you can write any number of steps inside it, but you should follow the fundamentals of it, okay. So always starts with a rate, ends with a function. Clear? Even though our tree is very simple, right? I don't want to make it as a complex because you don't understand. If I show that tree in the beginning, first itself, you don't understand, right? But you can write your own thing, okay. So now let's is it clear, Chinmay? Shane, I guess you are busy today. Shubh, Shane.
Uh, Shane messaged that his mic is not working, so he's not able to speak.
Oh, okay, fine. Hope he is hearing us. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Now let's go to, now what are we trying to achieve now? So we want to use we want to do the usage part of it, right? So for usage, you always select usage rate. Okay. So I selected a usage rate here.
I'm
See, for usage, it's always you need some input. Okay. For recurring and one time, we don't need an input. For one time, what is your input? It's an event, right? We are not giving any input to this, but for usage you need an input, okay. So that input we call it as chargeable item class. But what is this chargeable item class and how are we going to bring it up? Okay, so for usages we need this chargeable item class, right? And this chargeable item class is there in CC. So the chargeable item class, how we generate, like similar to the billable item class, we call it as a charged item class inside CC. So in CI, we need to create a chargeable item, so consumption item class. Okay, so consumption item class, we built consumption item class. So this is your input structure, right? Input structure contains list of fields. This is your input structure. It contains list of fields. We map it to CC via, similar to the billable item mapping, we do it through using consumption item mapping. Okay, so this consumption item mapping, we do it in CC. This creates when a consumption item mapping is done, it creates a class called chargeable item class. Okay, so this chargeable item class is an input to CC, and output we know it's a charged item class, that is your billable item class, and a billable item gets generated. This we have seen, right? Now let's go and see this one. Okay, so far we haven't created consumption item class, we only dealt with billable item class, right? how do we create a consumption item class and where do? We do it in CI, and let's see how to do it. Okay, but this is required because your usages are submitted using a chargeable item class. That's the reason for your usage rate, a chargeable, it is asking to provide the chargeable item class, which we don't have it handy because we have to create them in CI and we need to map it to CC. In CC we create a reference to it and we use it. Okay, now let's go to CI now. Let's go to CI, go to Fika IMG. In CI, go to CI, basic functions. We have seen billable items and we have seen scheduling also, right? Billing cycle and all those things we have seen. Okay, this is done. Okay, so billable items we have seen. Now let's look at the consumption items, right? Similar to billable items, we have a consumption item class, billable item class, consumption item management, billable item management. So similar to the billable items, we have consumption items also. Okay, let's open the consumption item class. See, interface components exist here and here. Billable item class and consumption item class. Generate interfaces. Everything is same. So it follows a similar set of configurations. Okay, now we know what are these interface components, right? So interface components provide us the list of structures that are required to generate this class, right? Let's go and maintain a consumption item class. Let's copy any of it. I'll create my consumption item class as G14C. Okay, this is my consumption item class 14. Okay, if you look at interfaces, you need to select the list of interfaces that you want to do. It's up to us what fields you want to use. Okay, not necessarily to have every time everything is selected, but basic data is mandatory. You cannot unselect that. Okay, rest all are optional according to our requirement, and the fields that we want to use, we just select those interface components. Click on OK, save, check, and activate. Okay, consumption item class is activated. Go back. G14C is activated. Let's generate this consumption item class objects. Okay, go to G14C. Objects are empty now. The the tables, the function module, they get generated. Okay, but we need to generate them first. Okay, let's click on generate. It takes a minute. Hey, shall we take a break? 5-10 minutes. Chinmay, Shane.
So would it be okay if we cover it now and maybe after 30 minutes we can close the class? I have
Okay.
some work actually. I have to step out.
Okay, no problem. That's fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. No, my throat, I don't feel like. Okay.
Okay. Then we can take. Yeah.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Let's. Anyway, you have other work also, right? So let's go with this.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I was having some mic issue. I was not able to turn on the mic button.
Oh,
And
okay.
it just reconnected. Yeah, just 5 minutes. Can we take 5 minutes break?
Shubh seems like Shubh want to leave in another 30 minutes.
Yeah,
We
just a
might have
quick,
30 minutes. Yeah, that's okay
a
for
quick
me.
loo break, basically.
Okay. I mean, by the time it gets the objects get generated, okay, it takes a minute or two to generate.
Hmm.
Let's be back in 5 minutes.
Okay, yeah,
5:45.
sure,
Shubh, is that okay?
Yeah, yeah, that's okay, sir.
5:45. Okay.
sure. Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm back. So let's see. So we have generated Shane, Chinmay,
Yeah,
Shu.
back as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So G14C is generated. Let's see. Look at the objects. See, these are the objects, and this is a function module at RFC using which we can create sit items also. Right now, let's make a note of this. Go to our sit class. Go back. Generate maintenance dialog for this G14C. Okay, dialogs are generated. Go back, and with this we generated our consumption item class. Now go to consumption item management and activate it. See, if you see, right, unless you activate, you can't see this in mapping here. See, if I do new to take the reference of it for billable item mapping, we have done for billable items, right? Now for consumption items, we have to do this consumption item mapping. Okay, let's click on it. What is our consumption item class? G14C. There is no 14C because you haven't activated that. Okay, so for that is the reason we activated this. So I wanted to show you, I mean, we discussed this about during our billable item class why we are activating. So this is the reason. Now let's go to G14C. This is our G14C. This entry is mandatory. You have to do that. And rest all similar. Okay, so processing rules we need to define. So 14C.
So generating when we generated those structures, it does not activate the item class then. I mean,
Uh, item no, the step you need to do for that it is activated, okay, but it is not visible in CC, right? It was not visible, I mean, even though it is available in CI, but it was not visible in CC. To make it visible,
okay,
you need that entry here,
item class. Okay.
right? The duplicate check schema, these are all same, and also field derivation, and there is one second, changeable fields. See this changeable fields, you can you can edit the consumption item by adding the list of fields that you want to change on the. This is similar to the billable item class what we have done.
Got it. Got
It
it.
is,
So our billable item class was showing up in CC because that activate step we had already done when we
yeah,
had
we have
defined it.
whatever
Hmm.
we are doing on the consumption item management, we have done it the similar steps. There
Okay,
is
okay.
no we'll come to this rating and all, we'll see once we submit the usages. Okay, so the classes and these are, that's the reason I opened both, right? As the billable items, the class and the management, they are similar, but you need to know what are the different interfaces and the item classes how we generate. It's the same similar process. Okay, now let's go to CC and let's do consumption item mapping. Okay, go to consumption item mapping. We need a reference, right? Because we want to use that input in our charge. That's the reason we are creating that. Okay, so G14C, let's go to G14C. See, it is available now, right? G14C. Select that one, consumption item class. So this is my consumption item class I just created in CI, and that is getting created as a chargeable item class in CC, right? Now let's save this one. So I have a reference to my consumption item class in CI. Okay, this will act as an input, right? This acts as an input to my charge. Select the catalog and save. Now let's is it done? Yeah, save is done. CC is a bit slow, so don't you need to wait, you need to give it a minute or so for that. Okay, so I have to stop this and close it and open it again. Okay, let me close this one. This is our charge. Open the charge. I'm traversing from charge plan directly. You see, this is my charge plan. I added a charge to it. If I want to go to charge, you can directly click on this. It will take you to that charge. Okay. Now I have only one shot now. I want to add sorry, click on it. I want to add a usage rate to it, right? Click on edit. Go to select my price plan. Always select the price plan and add usage rate to it. Okay, this is my usage rate. Okay, now what is my input to this usage rate? Okay, G14C is what we created. This is my input, right? Select that input. Now you need to create the similar. Okay, so once we have selected the rates, you need to add different things. Okay, so we can either use functions to derive the price. You can define some logic inside it and use it. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll let's say a simple example we'll take. Okay, so that you'll understand. Let's say this is my usage record. Okay, I need to create a usage record. Okay, let's say that the quantity. Okay, let's take the quantity. Okay, so if my quantity usage quantity is between 1 to 10, I'll charge the customer with a quantity. Okay, let's say the price will be quantity into, let's say, $1 or $3. Okay, if the quantity is between 11 to 20, I'll charge the customer the quantity into, let's say, $2. Okay, if it is more than 20, it is greater than 20. This is my usages. Okay, let's assume that usage as a quantity we are receiving, and the price will be what? Quantity into $1. Okay, this is my logic. Okay, it depends on the quantity that we are sending. Price will be calculated and billable item is created. Okay, so but how do we make this happen? Okay, if you go to CC, there is a concept. I mean, it's it is a range. I mean, we are creating a table, right? So we need how and we also the prices and all. Okay, so how much to charge depending upon the quantity. You want to get this data. See, it can differ from different customers, right? So different customers can have different data. So at the time of order itself, I want to give this information, how much to charge based on the rates, based on the quantities, how much to charge. I want to furnish this data during my order creation itself so that the customer is aware of it. Okay, but how do we send this data? Okay, for this purpose, we will use a concept called mapping table. Okay, in the mapping table, I'll give the quantity with ranges and the price. corresponding to that. Okay, we create a table with the quantity ranges and the price for the price for each range. Okay, but how do we so far only charge plan is exposed to SOM, right? On the product we are maintaining is on the product we are maintaining a charge plan, and we are sending the charge plan information to CC. But how do we pass the data? Okay, I want to pass some data from SOM to SOM to CC. How do we do that? Because if you look at your contract, the contract is not passing all the information, right? So what was our contract? 20923, right? So 20923 is my contract. If you open it, we have a contract, but the contract don't have much information. Like the billing plan in CI, it has almost all the data. Okay, if you want to pass any data from SOM to CC, directly we cannot do it. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we pass the data from SOM to CC? We use a concept called parameters. Okay, if you want to pass any data from SOM to CC, we use a concept called parameters. Okay, I'll pass some data. Okay, let's assume that I want to pass product information. Okay, product name. Okay, I'll say this one as a product, and this is a string I want to pass, and the visibility is external. Okay, internal is visibility, external means this can be passed from outside. If it is internal means this won't be available. Okay, I'll create one more just to show you an example. I'll say the customer number. Okay, even though we have available, I want to just show you that. Okay, customer number, and this is the number. I'll keep it as internal. Let's see how the behavior of it. And what else is needed? I needed a mapping table also, right? Mapping table is needed so that I can pass my data. So, but mapping table we can pass, but we need to the skeleton. Okay, the structure should be created inside CC. Okay, how do we create the mapping table inside CC? Go to create new and create a mapping table class and a mapping table. You see, right? So class is a structure, table is where we maintain data. So let's create a structure first, mapping table class. Okay, let's select the package. This is my MTC. Okay, mapping table class 14_1. MTC is my mapping table class. So I'll give the same name, MTC 14_1. Here, this is my input and output. Okay, so what is my input? Input is my quantity, right? That's what we wanted to do. So quantity. Okay, so this is my quantity. Okay, so quantity is a string. Only string or currency as allowed, but we need to. This should be a number. How do we convert this to number and string? We'll see. Okay, it's a string now, and my output is price.
So
That's
this is
price.
not the field that we are typing, right? Like the name is quantity. It can be QTY as well, or QNTY as well, or this is not like the SAP field. Uh,
It's not an SFP field. It's a free
okay,
text. Okay? I'm just typing
free
it.
text.
Okay, let's say that QTY. Let's go with QTY only. Okay,
Hmm.
quantity, and I'll say this is my price. Okay, I'll say price mapping table or price M. Okay, I'll keep it as price M. So this is my price, and it's a number. Okay, let's save this one. This is my skeleton. Okay, this is my input and this is my output. Okay, let's save this one. MTC 14_1 is a mapping table structure I'm creating. Okay, save. See, it is taking some time. Okay, CC takes some time to open or save or any other thing. So have some patience. MTC14 underscore 1 class is created. Now I want to create a table. Okay, skeleton. Now I want to create a table. Go to the table. Empty. I'll say empty now. Okay, MT14 underscore 1 is my table. MTC14 underscore 1 is my class, right? MT14 underscore 1. And what is my mapping table class? MTC14, right? MTC14. Yeah, MTC14 is my class. Click on enter and enter the data. Okay, so record 1. Okay, this is my quantity. Okay, so quantity, sorry. So okay, small thing. Okay, so up to 10 I want to charge 3, right? Let's search. Okay, it's not up to 10. Okay, I did a mistake. 1 second. Let's say for quantity 10 the price will be quantity into 3. For quantity 20, not a range. Okay, we don't use mapping table for range, but dates we can use. Okay, if it is 20 I'll use $2. If it is, there is another table. Okay, we'll see that later. If it is 30 I'll use 1. Okay, these are the 3 quantities I wanted to pass. Okay, let's say by default I'll say that, for quantity 10 I'll keep the start and end date. Okay, so it is valid from June 1st to, we can maintain the validities. Okay, and I'll say the price is some random price. Okay, these are my defined prices. Let's say the price is 5, and for quantity record number 2, for quantity for quantity 15 I'll say this is valid from June 1st to June 30. I'll keep price as 6. Okay, so remember this. Okay, for 10 and only 2 entries I submitted, and I have given price as 5 and 6 between June 1st and June. This is my CC table data, right? But I don't want to use this data. I want to use the runtime data. Okay, whenever order is created I want to pass that data to CC, not this data. Okay, well, let's see how we maintain this data. Okay, now let's save this one. Okay, now I have a table. I want to use a table. This is my mapping table ID. I have to keep it as mapping table ID. So what is my mapping table class? MTC 14 underscore 1, and my mapping table is MT14. Okay, I want to expose this. Okay, this is my mapping table. Okay, now I want to use this mapping table, and inside my usage rate I want to do some calculations. Okay, let's assume that this input is passing the quantity. Okay, we'll see an example and assume that I'm getting a quantity. I need to multiply. I need to read the table data. I need to multiply with that price that I'm getting with the quantity that I'm getting, and output the price. Right? That's our logic. How do we do that? First thing is what I need to read the table data. Right? So to read the table data, go to comparators. Now I am going into comparators. Go to mapping table introducer. Click on this. See, a mapping table is introduced. This is my mapping table introducer, empty. Okay, mapping table introducer. I'll say this one is empty. I'll say, see, I can type anything. Read the mapping table. See, this is a free text. You can type anything. It's a free text. If row is found, okay, row is found means what? So mapping table, row is found, row not found. Two possibilities are there, right? In the mapping table, there are two possibilities. Right? Either we can find a row or there is no data found. Okay, so what is my mapping table class? MTC14 underscore 1. This is my mapping table class. And choose a property. So this is my mapping table, which I don't want to use the data. See, where is this coming from and where is this coming from? There are two entries. So this is your CC table, and this is from the parameter, right? Just now we defined a parameter, right? Mapping table. See, if you look at here, I'll say that this is mapping table 1 2. Okay, let's now go to that read mapping table and select your mapping table class. See, mapping table 1 2. Where is it coming from, guys? I hope you're following. Chinmay, Shane.
Yeah.
So this is coming from parameters.
Parameters,
Right?
yeah.
This is your CC table, and the table that exists in the CC. So I want to read the parameters, the data that we pass from order. Okay, now what is my reference date? Reference date is the consumption date, where when a record is created. These are standard dates given by CC. I want to use the consumption date on which date the record comes into CC. So that's my consumption date. Okay, now the input column is quantity. For this column, but this column is a string. Okay, but the quantity that we are going to pass is what? Is a number, right? Quantity is a
Hmm.
number, but table is accepting only string. So we want to convert we always remember the fields that you see, right? Like this. These are all standard. You can easily identify which is a standard or which is a not standard. The representation of those fields, right? You see, these are all standard. These are all custom. Representation is changing. Okay, these are all system fields. The colors, you see, only circle with the yellow field. Okay, they are all system fields. Okay, so these are all uh,
Standard.
the standard fields. Okay, so these are all parameters. So there is a differentiation. Okay, now system actually by default sends we send the quantity data inside a standard field. Okay, we use a standard field to send this quantity. So that is sit quantity. Okay, and if you see, it is not showing the sit quantity. There is a standard field, it is not showing because only string parameter is allowed as a mapping. That's the reason it is not showing. So what I want now, I want to take the standard field sit quantity and convert that into string and pass it here. How do we do that? To do that, go to there is a now I'm going earlier I went to comparators, right? Now I'm going into operators. Okay, so there is something called arithmetic computation or map. Oh, one second. Property type converter. Okay, use this one. So it depends on your. There are different things are there. Okay, uh, depends on your use case. You can convert them. Okay, let's say I'll use property introducer. Okay, I'll say this one as property introducer is a kind of a variable. Okay, so quantity underscore, let's say charge, inside charge. Okay, this is my quantity underscore charge is a name. I'll say the property is quantity underscore c. I'll keep the same. This is my property name and it is a number. Let's assume that there is no value. Let's say it is 0. Okay. See, I have a variable created. Okay. I want to convert the quantity, the standard quantity into this quantity. Okay. Now let's click on here, introduce arithmetic property type converter. Okay. So convert standard quantity to string, quantity number to string. See, a type is free text. Okay, I can type anything. So I want to convert my number to string. That's the operation name I'm giving. Now what is my standard field? Sit quantity, right? I want to convert this to my property name is quantity c, and that will be a string, right? A quantity c is created. Now I want to use this quantity c inside my, because I am getting the value into my quantity c. I'll assign against this one. Okay, so quantity c. If you go down, quantity c, right? This is my local variable. These are my parameters. So there is a differentiation again, right? Quantity c. So this will return as a price, right? So it is going to return the price in this field. Okay, so price m underscore c inside charge. Okay, so in price m underscore c, I receive a price after I pass the quantity to this. Okay, this is the functionality of it. Now let's say the row is found. Okay, if a row is found, what I do is I'll do a arithmetic computation. With the price into quantity, we need to do that, right? So I'll say, let's do an arithmetic computation. I'm doing everything now, right? Let's do an arithmetic computation. So this will be what quantity into price is my operation I'm going to do. Okay, here I'll take what is my quantity? Sit quantity, right? Sit quantity into multiplied by what is my price? Price m underscore c, right? What is my output? This is my output price. All right, I'm generating a property, computed property. Okay, this into this is my output price. Now what I'll do is I'll add a component function. Okay, now let me add a function. So I'll say flat. This is my output price. Output price. And what is the value? Where is it? The value, where is it coming?
Price
In
MC
my
output.
output price. We computed, right? Output price. Okay. So this is now what I'm calculating and I'm assigning. I'm not just
What
assigning a
what
standard.
was the price MC then?
Price MC is where it's a table price, right? From table we got the price for a quantity. For a given quantity, we got the table
Unit
price.
unit price basically per.
Yeah, price,
What
unit
is the
price.
unit?
Now I'm multiplying with the quantity.
And
So this is my
then that's
table.
the output price. Okay.
Yeah, this is my output price, and I'm putting this to. This is my
So for
output.
yeah, for
Yes,
unit price we didn't have to define that that mapping field, right? Like the way we define for quantity.
for unit price.
We did
No,
not
no, it is
define
not.
the
It's a map. Output is a number, right? So we don't have to. Only the input is a string. That's the reason we converted that. Output is a. Let's open our mapping table. Let's open the mapping table. MT14 underscore 1. Let's see what is there in that. Okay, let's see MT14. What did we maintain? MT14 underscore 1, right? This is our mapping table. So the price is a number, but the quantity is a string, right? If you look at our mapping table class, go to mapping table class. See, it's a string. Input is a string,
Mm-hmm.
output is a number. That's the reason I'm not converting, but this is required to convert because our actual quantity was a number, not a string, right? That's the reason I converted. This only accepts string. So I converted our quantity which is coming as a number to string and I passed to this. Output we don't need to convert. So I left it there. Okay. Now let's keep this table and if output price I'm outputting. If row is not found, I'll say that if row is not found, what I do is I'll charge flat. Okay. Not found. Not found, then this will be, let's say if row is not, if mapping table there is no data, I'll charge customer with some level. Okay, $11. I'm not doing any calculations, I'm just flat outputting. Okay, this is my uh, logic, right? Let's save this one. Product, there is no value. What is it? Parent. Okay, it's a string. Let's say ABC, default it. Okay, and number, let's keep it as 0. So save this one now. I'll replace the version, override. Okay, so this one is done. Now let's go to charge plan. Okay, so one more thing you need to remember, every time you are doing some change on the charge plan, you have to create a new charge plan. Old one we cannot use. Once it is released, charge plan is done. You cannot use that one. Okay, here what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to use add parameters. If I want to add parameters to the existing charge plan, I cannot do that. If you go to your charge plan, where is my charge plan here? Okay, open our charge plan. Charge plan 14 underscore 1 is our charge plan. Click on edit, and I cannot add anything. It's disabled. See, I cannot add anything on the account assignment. It is disabled, and I cannot add. I cannot change the charge objects also. Where is it? These parameters, right? I cannot change the parameters. So everything is disabled. Okay, you cannot, and also even if you do some change, they won't reflect in SOM. Okay, if you want to add anything, you can, even if you add anything, they won't reflect in SOM. Every time you have to create a new charge plan. If anything is changing on the parameters, counters, or account assignments, anything you're changing or anything, if you're adding a new charge to it, you have to do that during open status only, not during result release or obsolete. It won't reflect in SOM. Okay, always remember that. Now I'll close this. I'll create a new charge plan now. Okay, go to file, new charge plan.
And if we have to use the old and the new both, then
No, I'll tell you that. Okay, so old one will be obsolete. Okay, we have to close the old one and you have to extend your product with a new one. Okay, so this one is what charge plan. So charge plan 14 underscore 2. I'm creating a new one now. It's 2. It's an open status. Let me add the charge. Charge you can modify any number of times, but if you're changing anything on the charge plan, you have to create a new one. Okay. Charge, there is no restriction. You can add any number of you can change any number of times the charge, but not the charge plan. Excuse me. So I added a charge plan. Let's do quickly a few things. See the parameters. I defined 3 parameters, but only 2 are coming. Why? Because the visibility, right? Visibility, I maintained 2 as external, 1 as internal. The internal is not showing, right? The customer number I maintained as internal, right? It is not showing up here. So internal is what? It's not visible to outside. So if you want to make it visible to outside, you have to make the parameter as external. Okay, similarly, the same goes to charge plan also. Okay, whatever you do, it should be outside only. And go to account assignments, you need to link it, right? So output, okay, output is what we need to do. We'll see that. But now let's go to charge plan, and let's go to account assignments, create a customer reference, customer CPL, say customer. Okay, customer CP this one. Now go to charge, go to account assignments, link it, link the charge to charge plan. Customer account is done. Now next is what? Parameters. Okay, tax, let's say disable, and parameters. Now we need to link the parameters also. So our motto is what? I want this table information coming from order. I don't want to use the data that is available in CC, right? So this should be object specific or contract specific. So that's the reason I'm exposing this to SOM and I'm getting the data from SOM. Okay, now how do we do that? Only through a charge plan we can send the data, right? So whatever we have in the charge, you need to map it to charge plan, from charge plan to product. That's the flow. Can everyone say you understood this flow?
Mm, to some extent.
You need to practice the CC.
Yeah.
Okay, but the flow you understood, right? How we are linking the objects.
Yes, yes.
So now I want to pass the product data. Product data, I want this to be external, right? So external, I want external means I need this from outside system. Okay. So description is product value. Let's say ABC is a default value. I'm giving it as a default ABC. What else I need? I want the mapping table also, right? So let's say MT underscore 14. Okay. And val. Okay. MT14 val. I'm just giving some random name. Okay. This is my mapping table and it is external. Description is mapping table 14. So the one I'm exposing is what? MT14 val, right? And I want to redetermine this. Okay, so now this we should link to our charge, right? Go to parameters and product. Now I link. Okay, not defined. I want to link it to my charge plan. Let's link it to charge plan now. So this is MT14 val. So this is linked to charge plan now. Charge table is linked to charge plan now. Okay, now let's save this one. Charged item class. Okay, so we need to, what is my output? Output also I need to configure, right? Go to output. So let's what is my output? Billable item class, right? Reference of my billable item class, which is charged item class G14B, and here let's do something here. Okay, so application key you can pass. Let's say let's keep it as yes, application key, and my bit type is BR14, and my quantity unit is, I'll keep it as EA. I'm hard coding this one. Okay, but quantity, right? Quantity, I want to keep the value that we have defined. Okay, so what is my quantity? Bit quantity, right? The consumption quantity. The consumption quantity is what we define one quantity, quantity C, right? Now this is a variable that is directly coming based on the usage record. I'm not hard coding that now, right? Quantity C. Now what else is required? Subprocess. Where is my subprocess? This is my subprocess, SP14. Okay, now let's save. There is one more thing. Charge plan item requires technical data. Okay, now usages. Okay, so usages always, let's say, a simple example is you have a mobile, right? What are the different usages possible for the mobile? One is data and one is voice, right? Those are
Right.
the two different usages. Okay, your mobile number is same, but your usages are required. If you want to capture your usage data, you need to know whether it is a mobile or whether it is a voice, right? So for that purpose, we need an identifier, whether it is whether it is a voice or whether it is a data. You need an identifier. See, earlier it allowed us to save. Now what it is saying, earlier without this also we saved, right? Charge plan. But now it is saying that charge plan item requires a technical data. So when we created a product, subscription product, we assign one technical resource schema, right? So that schema will help us, identifying this technical data. That's the reason we assigned that, but we didn't understand it at that time. But now, even in CC, as our charge contains a usage rate, it is saying that this is mandatory. Without this, he cannot progress. Okay, earlier it allowed us to save. Now it is not allowing because identifier is required to track, to record your usages. Okay, technical data will help us with that. Okay, so let's create a service identifier and a technical identifier. I'll say this one as uh, T14. Okay, and this one as S4. Sorry, here we need to the charge. Go to charge first. Technical data, and this is my T14, and this is my ID, tech ID, technical identifier. Okay, T14. I'll say, and the charge I need to link it. Okay, this is my service identifier is S14. Let's say this is a minutes. Okay, it is minutes, and I'm assigning it to T14. Okay, S14. Let's assume it as minutes. Now let's save. So technical identifier is required to record your usages. Okay, now it is allowing us to save. Right? Let's save. Charge plan 2 is saved. Now let's release it. Otherwise, you cannot see it in SOP. Let's save this one. Okay, now it is released. Let's go to SOM again. Okay, go to product. Expired. Okay. So there is a change in the charge plan. Now we need to assign the same thing to our product, right? How do we do that? Go to subscription product. Main is subscription product specific data. And what is our product? We already created a subscription product for 80057. It is already there. Okay, go open this one. So where do we assign? Go to cross catalog mapping. Edit this one. Now we have to add our charge plan to this, right? Okay, now I'll say create one more. So this was my earlier, which is released. Now let's go inside this. Validity is not a mandatory, it's optional. Okay, you can either choose or you can leave it, doesn't matter. Okay, so this is my CCM 14 underscore 2. I need to create a charge. I need to assign a charge plan, right? The one which we created now. Okay, now let's open the charge plan. So it is 14 underscore 2. This is my latest charge plan, right? Assign this here. Okay, so as soon as I assign, okay, now let's open this one. See, T14 and S14. These are my identifiers, right? Technical identifiers. Okay, but how do we know which is a data and which is a voice? Okay, that is where your technical identifier, okay, the technical identifier T9, which I assigned, right, at the time of creating a product, this will help. Okay, this will help, and let's say that this is your own item. That's the reason I assigned it. We'll see where did we create and what are the different uh, data associated with it. Okay, so T9 is where T9 is helping us in determining our technical IDs. Okay, the service IDs. Okay, to track the usages, to record the usages. Okay, and additionally, if you see, there is a string parameter, right? Product. See, there's a default value ABC. So we don't want this. I mean, this is a default value. We want this parameter to be object specific. So let's keep it now. We'll redetermine. Okay, we'll redefine this in our order and contract. Okay. Additionally, there is one more parameter. If you see this mapping table, MT14 and MT14 val. Okay. So this is also default. We want to redetermine according to the requirement on the order. No, we want to make this as object specific table, right? Now let's apply. So it's a warning though. It's up to us whether if you want to keep it or you can keep it blank also. It doesn't matter. Now see, go to cross catalog mapping again. So I have two. One is already released. So if you want, every time remember, use only one as released. It is your job to absolute the others which are not required. Okay. The first one I don't need. So set status to obsolete. Okay, this is obsolete. I want to use this one. So set this status to released. It is your, you have to do this. You have to remember this. Okay, so the second version is active now, 002. Okay, let's save this one. Okay, this product is saved now. Now let's go to subscription order management and create the order and see. Okay, now go to subscription order management. Hey, I know I'm taking a lot of. Sub, you want to go?
Yeah, let's talk in this.
Yes, sir.
I'll just submit this. We'll see tomorrow. I'll just submit this one. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know you asked that one, right? So
Also, it's
otherwise,
quite a bit information to consume as well.
yeah, it is actually.
Uh, and regarding those functions and operators, is there a documentation like when do we
Help.SAP,
use a specific operator? Sorry.
help.SAP, right? If you go to help.SAP, you have that
Okay.
convergence. Yeah, the information is huge, man. I mean, you
Hmm.
will fed up with that. Okay,
Based on the use case and all. Okay.
based on the use cases and all. It's it's up to you. If you have that stomach to take that all information, you can go. Otherwise, on need basis you can read.
Okay. And from the exam standpoint or the certification standpoint,
I have a link. We'll discuss. We'll discuss that in 1 second.
okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for at my current place, I don't see that core tool log on yet. So maybe I might have to request the admin or the basis team to give me that access, at least for the development. Uh,
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, or there might be some kind of I guess an octa tile or something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. So we go to subscription order management, manage subscription orders. Click on create new.
So usually, so there will be a separate CC person on the project? I don't think so. I
There is
mean,
a separate CC, there is a separate CI, there is a separate SOM. See, it takes a lot of time to understand the things. Okay, it's very difficult to understand
mhm,
everything. Okay, so even small things will take a lot of time. Sometimes you know how SAP works, I guess.
right.
Right, it's very difficult to search. Sometimes it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I mean, the people most of the time goes in researching and
yeah,
investigating,
yeah,
right?
it
So,
takes a lot of. So we usually separate consultants will be there. Otherwise, if one project you cannot, if you are overlooking everything, then you cannot work.
mhm.
Okay, now this is on the item, right? So item. Now, if you see convergent charging tables and parameters. These were not coming earlier. Now they are coming because they are needed. Right? These assignment blocks. You remember, even in our last order also we did. Right? Now, what are the things required? Now go to technical resource. So type ID. So I'll say one is data.
So this will be a mobile number or the in
No,
case of mobile.
ID is your mobile number, and these are your services. Okay, so I'll say one is data and one is voice. Okay, two services I am creating. Okay, so I can submit data and I can submit voice for this contract. Okay, these are your usage, right? Now I'll say one is data and one is voice. So let's see how it looks like in CC. But technical resource is mandatory to assign that. That's the reason the schema is assigned at the product level. Now let's go to convergent charging parameters. So here you can this is your parameter, right? I just added this as an example to show you how it looks like. And you can redefine this also. I'll redefine. You can code it. Okay, you can write a code to take the order value and populate it here, or you can manually edit also. So what is our product? 80057. The product information is not available in CC, right? If you look at your contract that is replicated to CC, the product data is not there. Only the BP data was there, right? Now, if you want any data, you have to use a parameter to send it to CC. Okay, it is very difficult. That's the reason we don't use it for one time and recurring. Okay, now what is the other thing? There is a mapping table also, right? I don't want to use the CC mapping table. I want to redefine it. Okay, I want to redefine it. So I want to create a new version of it. This is my object specific or order specific. Okay, this is my order specific or the contract specific table. Okay, so these are my entries in CC, right? For 10 and 15, these are my entries in CC, right? I want to use for 10, I want to use 3 instead of 5. I want to use for 15, I want to use 2 instead of 6. And also, I can add one more entry. In CC, we have only 2 entries, but I want to add one more entry for quantity 20. And this is valid from May 1st to July 31st. Okay, I'm changing the data and I want to charge $1. Okay, now 3 entries are there now, and the prices I changed. I can change this to, let's say, 22nd June. Okay, I changed something. Now let's save. I have 3 entries now. Go back, and this is my table. This is my mapping table. Okay, go back, submit. So look at the contract number 20925. Go to CC. Oh, and one more thing. Okay, if you go to item, go to subscription specific data. Here you see version of your cross catalog mapping 002, right? This is what we assigned, right? You can see that also here. Okay, that is
Yes.
one more thing to note. Now go to CC and open your contract 20925, right? Open this one. See, charge plan 14 underscore 2 is assigned. Okay, the technical data. So one is my T14. I have 2 services. Let's assume this is your mobile number. Okay, and I have data and voice for that. Okay, I can submit usages for data as well as for voice. Okay, now account assignments, contact account is assigned parameters. Okay, so this is a parameter. Look at the value. This was ABC, right, earlier. Now we passed product 80057. This is passed from where? From SOM to CC. Right, I have this value now in CC. And this is my table that I passed. Okay, so what is my table? 8 triple all zeros 1 2, and it is ending with 45620. How do we see this table data? To see the table data, go to the contract, go to the business partner code. Here, mapping table. Look at the mapping table. This is our mapping table we just passed. And if you see the entries, bingo, these are my entries, right? July 31st, May 1st to July 31st. I added 3 records. But in CC database, only 2 are there. The actual mapping table contains only 2 records. This is my object specific table and it contains 3 records. Right? It's clear, guys. Okay. All are silent. It contains 3 records now, right? Now, next thing is what? This is not active yet. As soon as it is active, we get a record. See, the usage is already usage is part of our charge, right? But still, let's see one. Let's open this one more time and see whether it is active or not. 9020925. So our charge contains 2 charges, right? One is activation charge, one is a usage charge. Okay, 20925, and it is active. Now let's go and see for this contract how many billable items are generated. Okay, 20925. 20925 is my contract number. Let's execute this one. And this is BR14. Only one record is generated. But for usages, why it did not generate any usage record? This is what
Mm,
this is amount to 10. This is your one-time bit, right?
one time. We
Yeah,
have not
usage,
given any consumption data,
right?
right?
Exactly. So the consumption we did not submit. Okay. So once we need to submit a consumption, that is usage, and you do the rating, then only a record gets generated. Okay. Tomorrow we'll see that how to submit a consumption, how to create a consumption data. Tomorrow we see how to create a consumption data, submit consumption data, rating, and there is one more concept called master agreement. Okay. So with
Okay.
that we should be good. But go through the recordings, please. You'll forget easily. We'll stop. Okay, we're stopping
Sure.
10 minutes ahead.